How's it going, everyone? Today we're going to be replacing the rear brake pads and rotors on the 2018 to 2024 Toyota Camry. So before we start working on our rear brakes, we need to put the brakes into service mode. And to do so, turn your ignition on, put your foot on the pedal, release your parking brake, turn your ignition off, and now turn your ignition back on. Put your foot on the brake, pull up on this 3 times. Down 3 times, and you can see your brake light is flashing. Come back down to here and hold this down, and you will hear your brakes releasing. And turn your ignition off. And now we're all set to do our brakes. So your next step is to lift your vehicle and remove your tire, which is a 21 millimeter, and just throw your tire underneath for some extra protection. Now we can remove our caliper, and to do so, you're going to remove these 2 14 millimeter bolts. So you can take your ratchet, and you're going to need an extension with a short 14 millimeter, as well as a 17 millimeter wrench to hold your slide from spinning. Get that on there, and we can break the caliper bolt loose. And now we can do the exact same to the bottom bolt. Grab your caliper and work it off. Just set it up out of the way. Make sure you do not hang it off your brake hose or this electrical connector that goes to your parking brake. Now we can remove the caliper bracket. And looking on the back side of your caliper bracket, you have these 2 17 millimeter bolts that you need to remove. Take our 17 and our ratchet. Break them both loose before you remove any of them. And hold your bracket. Now just pull your bracket off with your brake pads. Now we can remove our brake rotor. As you can see, it's stuck on there. Take a hammer and we will just tap in these areas to break it loose. These can be very stubborn to get off, so just keep hitting it and eventually you'll break the rust up. Owen, can you grab that rotor off for me? Yep. Thank you. Now we want to clean up our wheel hub. You want to make sure you get all this corrosion off, all this rust, so your rotor sits flat. And we'll clean up around here and then apply some anti-seize. I'm just using a wire wheel with my drill. And once you got it all cleaned up, spray it with some brake cleaner. This does not need to look like brand new metal. You just want to make sure it's nice and smooth. Now we'll use some of our anti-seize. A little bit of this stuff goes a long way. And we'll just spread this around. And this is just to prevent the rotor from sticking the next time you do a brake job. Take our new rotor and put that into place. If any of you need to pick some brakes up, I will make sure to link these exact ones down in the description. Next, we can remove our old pads and old clips. Just take your hammer. Just knock these out. And now we can grab some pliers and just pull these old clips off the bracket. You don't need to save these. Your brake kit will come with new ones. And before we reinstall our new clips, take your wire wheel and clean up these areas where your clips sit. So the reason you want to clean these areas up is so when you put your clips in, they sit nice and flat, so your brake pads will slide correctly. So now we can install our new clips. You want this part facing out and have it at the bottom like this. There's 4 clips for the right side and 4 clips for the left side. Just make sure you grab the correct ones. Your brake kit will come with silicone brake lubricant. You can pull the rubber back on your slides and work your slide out. Clean all this old grease off. Just take a little bit of this lubricant and spread it all over the slide. And what else I like to do is spray just a tiny bit of this silicone lubricant down into here. Push your slide back in. And make sure the rubber clicks back over. And this should move back and forth very easily. And now we'll do the same to this slide. And now we can reinstall our caliper bracket. Get both of your bolts threaded in. And once they're snug with your fingers, we can torque each one of these down. So now we can torque these two bolts down to 79 foot-pounds. Grab your new brake pads, and it will come with these wear indicators. These just go on the top of your pad, and you push it down. You can put one on each side. Before we install the pads, just take a little bit of the brake grease and apply it where it'll be sliding on these clips. Now grab your pad and line it up. And push it into position just like that. And now we'll apply the grease to the other pad as well and install that one. And take more of your brake grease and just put a thin layer on the back side of your brake pads. Now we can take our caliper and put it back into place. And get both of your slide bolts started. And hold your slide in place while you snug this up. And now we can torque these slide bolts to 25 foot-pounds. And now that we're finished with the job, we need to disable service mode. So we will turn our ignition on, come down to our switch, put your foot on the brake, and lift up on this for about 5 seconds. And now you can hear the brakes engaging. And once again, turn your ignition off and now start your vehicle. And lastly, just put your wheel back on and tighten your lug nuts up. Follow these exact instructions for the other side. And that finishes this job up on how to replace your rear brakes. If this video helped you out, if you could give it a like. If you have any questions, leave a comment. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, hit that subscribe button.